Sir Creek is an estuary. A tidal estuary means, tidal waters enter that estuary. It is 96 kilometers long in the Rann of Kutch region of Gujarat. Pakistan Army has increased its military build-up in the vicinity of this particular Sir Creek. And Mr. Rajnath Singh, our Raksha Mantri, was visiting an airbase in Bhuj. And from that airbase, he clearly gave a stern warning to Pakistan that if Pakistan, is going for any misadventure in this region, then Pakistan will be responded heavily. And our response would change the geography and history of Pakistan. Such would be the response. He further went on to say that Karachi is not far away from Sir Creek. So Pakistan should not forget that its major economic hub, its deep water port should be intact. So don't attempt any misadventure. This stern warning by the Indian Defence Minister was very much in line with the doctrine which India had adopted after 2016 Pathankot airbase attacks, that terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. We are not talking here to resolve this dispute. If you do anything, we will respond. And we will respond in a greater measure, and that measure that is unimaginable to you. And since 2016, we have started to do that. Uri attack was responded by surgical strike. Pulwama attack was responded by the Balakot airstrikes. The Pahalgam terror attacks were responded by Operation Sindh. Now, if any military development happens, obviously the response is ready. So this is what is happening. But yes, in this topic, we know till now that Sir Creek is disputed. But we don't know what is the history of the dispute. We shall know the history of the dispute. Then only a clear picture will be framed in our minds. So why is Sir Creek in news again? Because of this military build-up by Pakistan in the Sir Creek area. In response, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh issued a strong warning stating that any misadventure in the region could change both history and geography of Pakistan. And this water body, a narrow water body, no doubt about this fact, is very crucial for both of us. Pakistan claims the entire Sir Creek. We say that the boundary lies mid-channel. What are the bases of the claims of both of us? We shall see in this topic. Now, these comments of Mr. Rajnath Singh came when he was attending an event in Bhuj, Gujarat, and were a direct warning to Pakistan, which has recently expanded its military activities near Sir Creek. But why is this small stretch of marshy land and water so important? Because India is having there are economic significances, no doubt about this fact. There are strategic significances also. So this is this Sir Creek over here, which you are seeing, this narrow water body. Here you have Sindh on the western side. Sindh is part of Punjab, and here you have Rann of Kutch, part of Gujarat, which is part of India, obviously. There is another creek over here, Khori Creek. I'm not talking about this. This is Sir Creek over here. Okay. What is Sir Creek? 96 kilometer long tidal water channel located between India's Gujarat, Rann of Kutch, and Pakistan's Sindh province. It is called as a tidal estuary, which means the flow of water changes with tide. High tide, more flow of water; low tide, less water. It was earlier known as Ban Ganga, but the Britishers renamed it Sir Creek. The area around it is marshy, flood prone, full of snakes, scorpions, and muddy terrain. So obviously you cannot enter this particular creek. It is dangerous. But yes, this Sir Creek has oil and natural gas resources and fish resources. This is why, economically it is significant. We have not started extracting oil yet from this particular water body. But yes, we can. But for that, we will have to have jurisdiction over this particular creek. Even though the land is difficult to use, Sir Creek is very important for security, economy, and boundary rights. That's why both countries want control over this particular water body. History of the dispute. The dispute goes back to the British era. The conflict over Sir Creek started more than 100 years ago during British rule in India. At that time, the rulers of Kutch, now part of India, and the Sindh government, which is now part of Pakistan, argued over who had the right to collect firewood near the creek. This was the major question, that who has this right to collect firewood? And these two regions were under Bombay Presidency at that time. So Bombay Presidency ruled out, and a Bombay resolution was published in the year 1914. Now what was this Bombay resolution all about? We'll see. And actually the cause of the dispute is in this Bombay resolution. Paradox is that Bombay resolution was aimed at providing solution to the conflict, but it complicated the conflict, and the conflict continues till date. You have to understand it in this way. Now this Bombay resolution, there are two paragraphs which we need to know. One is paragraph 9. Paragraph 9 said the boundary between Sindh and Rann of Kutch, at that time it was not India Pakistan, it was 1914 when this Bombay resolution was rolled out. Paragraph 9 said boundary was the eastern bank of the creek. Now this is the creek, let's suppose. This is Sindh, this is Rann of Kutch. So paragraph 9 के हिसाब से this was the boundary, which means the entire creek was under the jurisdiction of Sindh. Then paragraph 10 simply said that the boundary lies mid-channel. There is a principle called as Thalweg principle. Thalweg principle comes into picture when maritime disputes or maritime boundaries we are not able to draw. And Thalweg principle simply says that, wherever the deepest point is between the two territories, their boundary can be drawn mid-channel, basically. Generally, deepest points are considered in mid-channel, in the middle. So wherever it is, boundary should be drawn there. So, according to the Thalweg principle, the boundary lies mid-channel, and India claims this. According to this, half of Sir Creek is Pakistan's, half of Sir Creek is India's. Right? So, this is there. Pakistan as of now endorses paragraph 9, because paragraph 9 is making the entire Sir Creek as part of Pakistan. But on the other hand, India claims or endorses paragraph 10, that is, that boundary lies mid-channel, and according to the Thalweg principle, this is the international maritime boundary line. So this legal, I would say, ambiguity in the Bombay resolution of 1914 is creating problems till now. I fail to understand that, Britishers, they called themselves so, I would say, smart. They called themselves that it is the white man's burden to develop the undeveloped countries. This is how you develop. This is something which is concerning. And these legal ambiguities are not there in this particular case. They are there in other cases also, like the Aksai Chin, claim over Aksai Chin. India claims that Aksai Chin is part of India according to an agreement done by the Britishers and the Tibetans. The Chinese claim that Aksai Chin is their part according to an agreement done by the Britishers and the Tibetans. Both these are different agreements signed during different time periods. But yes, the later one, which was signed by the Britishers and the Tibetans, has no mention that it is, overshadowing the earlier one. So these, legal discrepancies or ambiguities create a lot of problems for us in the present day. And this is one such problem. So from the beginning, the document itself was unclear that both countries used different parts of it to support their positions. Different parts. Pakistan supports paragraph 9 and India supports paragraph 10. And that is the conflict. This picture will make things more clear to you. Just look at this picture. This is Sir Creek over here. This green line is endorsed by Pakistan, which makes the entire Sir Creek part of Pakistan. The red line is the endorsement of India, which makes half of Sir Creek India's and half of Sir Creek Pakistan's. And it is here where military build-up is being done by Pakistan. So this was the Bombay Resolution, which was passed in 1914, but what happened after 1947 when the Britishers left? So we have a timeline over here. So 1914 Bombay Government Resolution, there was ambiguity in this. In 1965 was that year when India and Pakistan were going at war. There were tensions in that, Bhuj region and Rann of Kutch region as well. Operation Desert Hawk, Pakistan conducted military operations in Rann of Kutch. Minor skirmishes with India happened, and it was a precursor to Indo-Pak War of 1965. But that Indo-Pak War of 1965 ended in a peace agreement which was brokered by USSR, and it was not India which approached USSR for that peace agreement, it was Pakistan. So this is something which is significant. 1968 Indo-Pakistan Western Boundary Case Tribunal. Now after this war, Pakistan started claiming over Rann of Kutch region, entire Rann of Kutch. And this tribunal was formed by the King of England. And this tribunal granted more than 90% of Rann of Kutch region to India. Means Rann of Kutch region, some of it was there in Pakistan already. So before 1965, so that region which was there in Pakistan already, Pakistan ko wohi mila and our region remained intact, means there was no benefit of Pakistan approaching the tribunal. We won that case. Okay. Then from 1997 to 2012, composite dialogue process happened. India-Pakistan talks included Sir Creek issue. No final resolution achieved, but multiple talks were there. Okay. But in 2016, we adopted that doctrine. Terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. We are not talking to them. Not talking to them even for resolving any dispute. 2023-24 military build-up. Pakistan strengthens military presence in Sir Creek, raises tensions. And now also 2025, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's warning has come. If you attempt any misadventure, you are going to be, given a good answer which can change your history and geography. So multiple attempts have been undertaken for resolving this issue, but they have not been resolved. So we look into these multiple, events which have been undertaken to resolve this. After independence, Rann of Kutch became part of India and Sindh became part of Pakistan. We know that, and this makes Sir Creek an international boundary issue. In 1965, Pakistan even claimed more than half of the Rann of Kutch. A war broke out between the two, and India responded well in this war. In 1968, a tribunal set up by UN gave 90% of Rann of Kutch to India, but left out Sir Creek because it was too complex due to its shifting nature and water-based geography. Shifting nature means it is a tidal estuary. The water flow changes in this. High tide, more water, low tide, less water. So there were technicalities involved. So this tribunal, gave an award of the Rann of Kutch region, but it did not touch the Sir Creek dispute because of the technicalities involved. Okay. Since then, Sir Creek dispute has remained unresolved. Key events to resolve this issue. 1989, first formal talks in Islamabad, no result. 1990 to 92, more round of talks in Rawalpindi and New Delhi, still no solution. 1998, a Sir Creek working group was formed. India opposed Pakistan's move to take the issue to international courts, saying it must be solved bilaterally as per the Shimla Agreement. Shimla Agreement, there was one clause that all the disputes should be managed bilaterally, including ceasefire maintenance along the LOC should be done bilaterally. And this is where significance is of doing bilaterally without any third party mediation. Pakistan has attempted to bring in third parties for this resolve, but India has opposed this, highlighting the Shimla agreement ki bhai nahi, this is a bilateral issue, we will resolve it bilaterally. 2005 to 2007 joint surveys were done by both countries to map Sir Creek, but the data was never used to reach a deal. 2012, last formal round of talks took place, but again nothing happened. And 2016, after the Pathankot terror attack, India stopped all structured dialogues, including on Sir Creek, with Pakistan, because terror and talks cannot go hand in hand. That was a simple take of the government of India. So in a nutshell, there have been multiple attempts to resolve this dispute. ऐसा नहीं है कि there were no attempts over the years after 1947, but this dispute has not been able to get resolved. There are multiple reasons that why this dispute is not resolved yet. We will definitely look into those reasons. And before that, what do India and Pakistan claim? We should know that. वैसे तो you know it, but yes, just a quick revision. Pakistan says the entire Sir Creek belongs to Pakistan as per paragraph 9 of the 1914 agreement. Eastern Bank as boundary. This Eastern Bank as boundary is also referred to as green line, which you have seen on the maps also. So Pakistan claims that green line is the boundary. Green line makes the entire Sir Creek part of Pakistan. India says that the creek is navigable during high tide, so the Thalweg principle applies, and the Thalweg principle says that the boundary lies mid-channel. Boundary should be in the middle of the creek. India also shows proof like the 1925 map and the mid-channel pillars from 1924. Pakistan argues that the creek is not fully navigable, so Thalweg principle should not apply. India says it is navigable, especially during high tide, and fishermen use it regularly for fishing because it is a very significant fishing ground. Now, this legal difference over one principle, Thalweg, has kept the issue stuck for years, whether it is navigable or not navigable. If it is navigable, then Thalweg principle will apply, and then the boundary will lie mid-channel. But again, now here the question is whether it is navigable or non-navigable, because the Thalweg principle will only apply if it is navigable. Strategic importance of Sir Creek. Sir Creek may look unimportant on the map, but it is crucial for national security, especially for India. Why? Because it is close to Karachi, Pakistan's economic lifeline it is. It is barely 170 something kilometers from Karachi. So this is the distance, see, Karachi Sir Creek. It is not too far. Any Indian movement in Sir Creek is seen as a direct threat to Karachi. That's why Pakistan has built bunkers, radars and military posts near the area recently. It can be a defensive move also by the Pakistan army, not an offensive one, but yes, our warning says that if any misadventure is planned by Pakistan, then Pakistan is going to pay the price for it. And the price is going to be very heavy. So, this is what you need to understand about this. But yes, there is more coming. It is gateway for terror infiltration. This particular creek. It is believed that 2611 attackers, Ajmal Kasab and company, they entered India. And they entered India through the waters. Probably they might have traversed through Sir Creek, captured a boat over there, and then from there to Bombay. In the 2008 Mumbai attacks, terrorists came by sea from Karachi, entered Indian waters through Sir Creek and hijacked an Indian boat. Since then, India has tightened coastal security in the area. Still, the creek remains hard to monitor and could again be used for smuggling, infiltration or terror attacks. There can be possible Chinese interests also. There are concerns that China, through its support of Pakistan and China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, may try to increase its presence near this region. But as of now, China has withdrawn from a crucial railway project which was part of CPEC in Pakistan. Pakistan is warming up to America nowadays. And America is also talking about developing another deep sea port in Pakistan, which will be somewhere around 120 kilometers from the Gwadar port. It will be in between Gwadar and Karachi. So this equation is, making things interesting in this region, that is, South Asian region. Can the China-Pakistan nexus weaken? Well, if it does, then definitely, India has an advantage. So, you need to look at things from multiple perspectives. Anyways, there cannot be weakening of China-Pakistan nexus, and obviously China is a threat to India from here. Economic importance, oil and natural gas. The region is believed to have untapped oil and gas reserves. For a country like India, which wants to reduce dependence on imported oil, gaining access to this area is very important. Fishing industry, the creek supports rich fishing grounds used by fishermen from both India and Pakistan. Due to no clear boundary, hundreds of fishermen get arrested every year for accidentally crossing the border. And this is something which is very significant. Many spend years in jail, even though they did not intend to cross over. This creates human suffering. And obviously, public opinion is also impacted due to it. So, economic importance, it has oil and natural gas reserves, but they are untapped as of now, means we have not started extracting them. Fishing, definitely fishing is there. It is a major fishing ground of that region, and due to fishing, a lot of fishermen get caught, and they spend years in jail. Problem is there. Third is exclusive economic zone. So, under UN clause, what happens is, a country has right over sea resources in a zone called exclusive economic zone. And exclusive economic zones, they are there from your territory up till 200 to 250 nautical miles. Now, EEZ of Pakistan is this, which you are seeing here in this, grayish color. And EEZ of India is this, which you are seeing in light blue color. Okay. And Sir Creek is over here. This is Sir Creek. If we let Pakistan claim over the entire Sir Creek, then Pakistan's EEZ will expand and our EEZ will reduce. Sir Creek to jayegi, but EEZ will also be reduced. That will be a major economic loss to India. But if our claims on the mid-channel of Sir Creek will remain intact, this is going to be the position of EEZs. EEZ is is an area where we can do any economic activity. Okay. This is what it means. Efforts to resolve the dispute. India and Pakistan have held several rounds of talks over the years, but no final agreement has been done. In 1968, an international tribunal urged by UK Prime Minister Harold Wilson after 1965 war resolved most border issues in the Rann of Kutch but left Sir Creek. We know this. In 1972 Shimla Agreement, both countries agreed to resolve bilateral disputes bilaterally, but these disputes have not been able to resolve yet. But why the disputes are not been able to resolve yet, we need to know and understand this. There are several reasons behind it. First is legal ambiguity. 1914 resolution, the Bombay Resolution, paragraph 9, entire Sir Creek to Pakistan. Paragraph 10, the boundary lies mid-channel. According to the Thalweg principle, it has created legal ambiguity. Shifting geography. During high tides, there is more water. During low tides, there is less water. So these technicalities are making it difficult to assess and know whether this Thalweg principle will be applicable or not. Because if this shifting geography will enable navigation or not. Because अगर navigation possible होगा तभी Thalweg principle applicable होगा. India says it is navigable, Pakistan says it is not navigable. So this is where the things are. Lack of political will, obviously that is there. That is why this issue has lingered on so much. And there is high level of mutual distrust among the countries. So this high level of mutual distrust has, we can say that this has been the major underlying factor for non-resolution of this particular dispute. Okay. So it is a small water body, no doubt, but it is significant. And it is economically significant because fishing grounds, oil and natural gas resources. EEZs definitely will be impacted if we give up our claims. Secondly, strategic importance is there. It can give a wrong message if we give up on the entire circuit to Pakistan, and further Pakistan can attempt incursions from that region. Talking about resolving this dispute, we are not, as of now, in favor to resolve the dispute. We are not in favor of talking to them, because disputes will be resolved through talking. Or there can be another way of resolving dispute, that is, you launch a military offensive and you take control of this area. But these are not the sanskars of India, the core values of India. India will respond if India is attacked, and the response will be unimaginable. But if you talk about India launching a military offensive, initiating a military offensive in this region, I don't think so this will happen, because this has not been the modus operandi of India. This has not been, this is not in line with our core cultural values or sanskars. We don't want others' territory, but we don't want others to take away our territory. Whatever is ours should remain ours. So this is what we need to know and understand. And this is the circuit dispute, the history, the legal ambiguity there. That is the main reason. But apart from it, lack of political will and mutual distrust are also underlying factors due to which the dispute has not been resolved yet.